Conquering Mount Scrapmore with Brenda. I'm Brenda, and we're here with another episode of Y Seam Wednesday. It's the perfect time to master your Y seams, and I do try and come up with some fun blocks that you would need to master your Y seams with. So this one is called the Easy 8-Point Star, and we've got we've got the templates, so I've given you the PDFs. You're going to find those in the show notes below. And it's going to be a divide and conquer kind of a lesson, right? So Y seams sometimes mess people up because they can't divide and conquer them. We're going to show you how to do that. But first, let's get to our shout out before we forget. Kelley from Kelley's Quilts and Cruises was one of the individuals, fiber artists, that I worked with on the community round robin. And as I was sewing on the borders, because we filmed it this week, where I'm sewing on my final border, I just felt very, very sad that that community round robin was over, because once we film it and we upload it onto YouTube, you know, we don't really have to worry too much more about it. And I was sad because we had so much fun. And, you know, Kelley was one of these bubbly, happy people in the group, and I would work with Kelley again in a heartbeat. I mean, my heart wouldn't even have a chance to beat before I'd say yes. But with the four, like Future Cat from New Zealand, and Michelle from Bits and Pieces, and Kelley, I mean, I just admire those ladies very, very much. And I just wanted a big shout out to all of them, because like I say, I was very sad when it's over. But if we ever do it again, I'm in. So that's our shout out. So go look for Kelley's Quilts and Cruises. Her YouTube channel is going to be in the show notes below. And there's lots of things in those show notes, because what I'm going to say next, you're going to have to go into the show notes to find. We have a Facebook group. Now, our Facebook group is growing fast, warm and welcoming, and we do all the same things other Facebook groups do, but we have community chats. We do fabric swaps by country, or sometimes we'll do block swaps too by country. We do free recipes, we do free patterns. We go out and find free patterns from all over, and we post them, you know, in the group, in that one group chat. There's a chat for anything. There's several groups that are attached to that, and we just have so much fun. We have so much fun in those community chats, and those chats are dinging constantly on my phone with, you know, other people, you know, rooting other people along. So it's great, and it's a fun group to be part of, right? Because everybody's kind of lifting each other up. There's no real nasty comments, or at least I haven't seen any. So, you know, it's one of those fun groups. Also, the Zoom sew dates are going to be in the show notes. Now, they're from now until the end of December. And I haven't looked at 2025, but once I do, those dates are going to be down in there as well, right? So it's really important that you go looking in there and mark it on your calendar. If you don't feel like sewing the day of the Zoom sew dates, come anyways. Bring your needle point, bring whatever you're working on. It'll be fine. It's a great fun place to come hang out. Share, like, and subscribe our channel. I mean, that would help us out so much if you want to help us out. Also helping us out would be like putting comments, right? Even if it's a heart, that would help us out quite a bit. I speak for free to quilting groups and quilting guilds. I talk about using your fabric scraps, elements of design, and I make charity quilts. I do have a small visual trunk show. I do it over a PowerPoint presentation, and I tell little stories about the quilts, but it's all, you know, I don't do any traveling anymore. I also give sneak peeks on what's coming up on the YouTube channel, so that might be something that you might want to talk to your group about as well. Also, the Chaos Sew Along is coming out. I finally reworked that pattern enough where it looks great, and I think it's going to be so much fun. Now, the subunits, once they're pieced together, are going to be 4.5 inches unfinished, or 4.5 by 8.5 unfinished. So we're subunits are a little bit bigger. So that's a really fast quilt, and I'm making it queen size. So I'm hoping it makes a big dent in your scraps. So I think that's it. I think that's all I have to cover today. So come on in, let's get to this very easy 8-point star and divide and conquer those Y seams. Okay, so here we are at the sewing machine, right? This kind of looks daunting because there's 8 points. There's quite a few Y seams in here, but let's work with what we know, right? Let's just work with what we know to start. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna cut through this, and we're just gonna line up our ends to this and get this all sewn together. Here we go, and basically we're lining up our ends. You have to kind of, this one kind of, it's not, basically I'm going to sew on the white flaps to the blue piece, and then use the green, right? I know there's a bunch of different ways you could sew this, is what I'm trying to say, right? So that, taking that all into, you know, effect. You want to sew the longest bias seams together too. And your straighted grain is laying on the outside with this one. Okay. Here we go. Okay, now we want to go the other way, the other side, and there, we're just gonna line all that up and run it through the other way. There we go. Okay. Here. You want to sew, you want to sew the long point of the blue. How did that go? Together first. That did not work right. That does not look right. Okay, that looks right. That looks right. And it doesn't matter how you sew these, whether you go from this point down. There we go. What you want to do is you want to create a 90-degree angle with these, right? So this gives you your first angle that is recognizable, I guess, as an angle, right? That everybody recognizes a right angle kind of a thing. Yeah. Just want to line that up. There we go. And last one. Okay. Just push this out of the way just a bit. There we go. And now. There. And gently feed it through. Okay. There we go. Now, I'm going to put all of these back with the short part of, it's kind of like there's 2 angles on this one piece. Okay, there we go. So what you want to do is you want to lay that out just like this. You might have to open these. I believe you have to open these. Okay. Actually, I should show you, I should take this as an opportunity to show you how to do these by dots. The dot method, but I could wait for another time to do that. So there we go. There's all of them. Now handle these very gently, because the only thing now that's a straighted grain that's not biased is this outside edge. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put one piece here like this, Okay, we're going to put one piece here like this, and then we're going to sew on this piece, right? Now, I am going to do that from this side. This side. I'm going to put the bigger piece on top, and I'm going to have to open these seams. I knew it! No, there wasn't a lucky thing for me. Oh well. And I have to open both sides instead of pushing them over. Oh well. It's not the first time. Probably won't be the last. Okay, so you take your time. You line up that little end. You line it up, and hopefully it stays lined up for you. And you get to your pivot point where that seam meets, and you just hand crank that. Okay, just like so. And then you crank this over, just like that, until you get those ends met up. And nice, lay nice and flat. There we go. Now, I have to open again. I shouldn't have pushed these over, but part of me was sitting there. Oh, you can do it. No, I can't. I will show you the dots, where they use dots to line up everything. And that's a little different. It's a little bit different sewing, but it works. It does work. Okay. So I have to line this up, go just like so, all the way down into this seam, and there, I gotta take that right out. So there is your block. Oh, all right. Well, I will do this instead. Okay, so there's your block, your first block. There we go. Now we just hip this, line this up, line this all up. Oh, get all of that. There we go, as flat as we can. There. There. Line this up. Yeah, I like waist seams. I think they're not horrible to sew. They're not terrible. Some things are, I would imagine. I'm going to drop my needle because I forgot to do something. There we go. I'm going to press all this open. Yeah, pressing open sometimes helps your block stay flatter and redistributes the fabric the best you can. There's a lot of fabric in that center point, by the way. So you might want to make sure it's as flat as possible. Okay. There. Down. And there's another piece of that block. See, this is your block. Basically, this is your 1/4, right? So now let's get this done. Let's spin this like so. Line these edges up like so. There we go. And last one. I'm going to press this open. Yeah. Now it's easy when you're finger pressing, it's easy just to change the direction of the seam. You know, because you haven't stretched it, right? You're not stretching them, you're just pushing them. Scratching it to go one way versus another way. Okay, there we go. There. Okay. Now that opens up, it just goes there like so. All right. And now, okay, right to the end. Okay. Sometimes you need a pair of tweezers or something to just get the fabric to lie just a little bit flatter. And sometimes all of a sudden when you're doing these Y seams this way, all of a sudden the Y seam will fall into place like magic. And it's like, how did that happen? Okay, so here we go. Here we go with this. All right, now, there we go. Now we're going to sew put the two of them together. So we're sewing this. So we're lining these all up, and I am going to open up this seam. Okay. There. And this seam. Right. I've already got this one open. I already got the other one open. Okay, so I'm lining. Okay. So I'm lining these up just so they look like that. And I'm going to sew this. Not this way. No, I can't do it this way. It's this way with the seam on top. No. Okay, it's this way. Never mind. We'll do it this way. So basically what we're doing is we're lining this all up. So we lines it up. And we're doing this, and we're going, yeah, okay, right to the center, and we go where we pivot on the seam. Use your seam as a pivot point. There we go. It's just a hair out. Okay, now we go straight to the center, and hopefully we get everything to nest up correctly. And these two pieces line up perfectly. Oh, yes, they do. Wonderful. Now, I'm just going to peek to make sure everything lines up. Yes, it does. Nice. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I struggled. I did struggle with that one. I will admit that. I'm tired today. I don't know. I'm just sleeping all sorts of hours. I don't know why I'm so tired. I'm taking vitamin B12. Right, so. Okay, right now down to, ooh, half a stitch. There we go. Nice pivot point. There. Okay. There. Okay. Now we want this opened. And we want that opened. We want this seam below opened as well. Okay, I'm just going to scrape it open with my fingernail because it's there. Okay. Now everything's lying flat, nice. There we go. And okay. Now here's where we're going to divide and conquer. Now, on these other videos, I've shown you how to do this in the middle. Like the Priscilla had the square in the center. Well, this one we have to match up all these intersections. Now, this one's a perfect one to divide and conquer because you've got two Y seam here and a Y seam here. So what you're going to do is you're going to first line up all of this. You're going to take your time, press open your points. Okay. And like I say, I'm just finger pressing for now because I can. And you're going to get your pin because you do want that center point to be as best as you can. And you're going to put it there and you're going to put it there. Okay. Now we've got it up and down. We've got this going the right direction right across. Yes, we do. And I'm going to call it and pin it. There we go. Come back here. There we go. Okay, like that. Now, this one, now I would attack this way, right? So I'm, if I attack this way, I can't see anything, right? Because I've got no seam. So I am going to use dots. I will use dots, but I'm dividing and conquering, so that's okay. So basically, I'm going to take a 1/4 inch in, right? 1/4 inch in one direction and make an X, and make a 1/4 inch in the other direction and make an X. So I am showing you how to do dots. Okay, so that is, and I'm going to do another one on this side. A 1/4 inch in. I got my little magic wand. There we go. And a 1/4 inch in from here. And why is that being difficult? There we go. Let's get this nice and straight. There we go. So basically, I've drawn an X marks the spot, right? And that's how people do it with dots. Right now, what I'm going to do is I'm also going to put a pin in this on this side. I'm going to go right in the center of my X, and I'm going to go 1/4 inch down right on that seam, and I'm pinning because that's where I need to be. That's where I need to be on this. And on the other side, again, we're dividing and conquering the Y seams. We're going in this way, and now we're going in 1/4 inch down. There we go. There we go. Wouldn't it be horrible if you did all this work and then your block didn't come together? Anyway, so here we go. I'm going to get this out of the way because it's just going to be in the way. Okay, so I start from the center, right? And I know some of you are going, oh gosh. Well, you know, it is a bias block, right? And some people believe you have to start from the center when you're doing a bias. Like anything here could be on a bias. So I'm even going to pull my pin at this point. There, and I'm going to make sure that stays open. Okay. Now, oops. Now, I'm coming up to my other pin and the X. There we go. I got my X. X marks the spot. Pull my pin out. And now I line this up. So, there we go. I line this up. Just take my time lining it up. Okay, and put it down. There. So there's 1/2 of that divide and conquer. You could go, if you felt very comfortable about doing these, you could put like, you know, a long continuous Y seam, and that would look good too, right? But if you don't feel comfortable with Y seams, you got to keep practicing. That's all there's to it, you know. It's one of those things that you keep trying to do, right? Keep trying to master, keep trying to improve. And I go right to, okay, take this off. X marks the spot. Oops, I'm just going to push the needle under, and I can barely see it with this foot, so I'm taking my time. There, we got it. Okay, now I get this so it goes all the way around, and suddenly it lies flat. Yes, it does. It's so nice when they suddenly lie flat. Okay, there we go, just like so. There. And everything lies nice and flat. And we finish. Okay. Now you can finish this block by pressing all of your seams open, or, you know, however you feel it's going to lie flattest. There is a lot of bulk right here. Right here, right now. So I would suggest, you know, you take that seam and you use your clapper, make it as flat as you can. You know, there is a little bubbling. Yes, there's a little bit of bubbling. You might want to take some water to it. You know, if there's a little bit of bubbling, you might want to take a little bit of water to it just to get it all flat for you. But yes, it does work. It does work. So let me get this pressed out for you, and we'll show you the big ta-da moment. So here we are with the easy 8-point start. Now, my husband and I are kind of chuckling because I made a mistake on this block, and I'm going to tell you about it. By the way, with the clapper, I did dampen the square. I got my clapper down, and that seam where we put all the pieces together, that seam is lying absolutely flat, and so is the center. And the center mark worked out perfectly. Again, make sure you have straight grain on the outside, because as I sewed this, there were some of these that I didn't, and I should have had straight grain. I should have been paying more attention to the straight grain. So I've got a block now that I had to put together. I managed to put this thing together, and it come out square, but it wasn't straight grain on the outside. So that you have to be really careful about. So I guess it wasn't the easy 8-point start like we thought it would be because I made a mistake on it. So this one did come out a lot of fun though. It was fun to put together, and I hope you guys learned a lot about divide and conquer your Y seams until you master them and you can just zip along and, you know, it's all good. So I hope you have a very happy and fun-filled week ahead, and life is treating you just so great you can't believe it. Okay, so until we meet again, I hope you guys take care and life is good. Okay, bye! Hello again. We just want to thank you for enjoying our video and, you know, coming along with my husband and my YouTube adventure and quilting. And, you know, sometimes things don't work out as best they should, and sometimes they work out great. We're going, wow, that went well. But it's been an amazing journey, and I'm so glad I could share it with you. Share, like, and subscribe these videos. That really helps us out, and it helps us make more charity quilts, okay? So you guys take care until we have a chance to meet again, okay? Bye!